Okay, so today we're talking about logs, and when I Googled logs, this is what came up. Not exactly the same thing as we're talking about. Actually, we're talking about logarithms, but these logs, I was picturing the crazy Norwegian loggers like Knut running around and like knocking out this log here that's holding up the stack. Can you imagine what would happen to those guys? Those logs tumbling down the hill. Oh, that'd be so nasty. It was a really, really dangerous job logging back in the day. I didn't have OSHA to like make all the rules of how to keep safe and stuff. It's still one of the most dangerous jobs out there, right up with the deadliest catch. You know what I'm talking about? All right, so this loggers are in danger a lot. I personally know a guy who was killed by a log. I mean, how many jobs can you say that about? He was cutting one down in his backyard. Thing fell wrong, killed him. Just it's a very dangerous business. Okay, well this is not quite so dangerous, but this stuff is a totally new way of thinking. How would you say that one right there? Log 6 30s. I got so many different ways people are saying this, and they're wrong. There's only one right way to say it. Want to take a shot at this? Yes. Okay, now you're translating the what question does it answer. You changed it into an exponential, and that's good, but that's different. This right here can be said correctly. Want to give it a shot? You have just answered this part. What is the name of each part? Yes, there is a base and there is an argument, but nobody has actually read this to me correctly yet. Try it. You threw in some words you don't need there. Nope. Thanks for trying. Yes, it is base 6. You got that much right. Yes? You're really close. You just threw in 2 words you don't need. All right, I will say it to you. It's kind of funny that nobody knows how to say this exactly right. I will say it to you once, and then I'd like you to say one after that. Log base 6 of 36. That's the right way to say that. In fact, I'd like you to write that in your notes. Log base 6 of 36. If you don't know how to say it, then you really don't know it, right? Okay, so now you know how to say it. Log base 6 of 36. What question does it answer? Now, somebody gave me that already. It answers this question. 6 to the what is 36? Because you could put equals x at the end here, right? And again, these aren't as simple as they seem. It's not 6 to the 36. It's 6 to the I don't know what equals 36. And now I can figure that out. And the answer is called the solution. And the solution for this one would be what? 2. Because 6 to the 2 is 36. All right. What's the name of each part? That part right there is called the base. I think we established that. And some of you guys knew the name for that part right there. The argument. All right, good. There's some real basics. Let's move on a little bit to this part. If I'm looking at 7 to the x equals 48, I could write that as a log. And that's the reason we're doing this, is you don't know how to solve this. You don't have any tools right now for solving that problem. The only way we could do it before is if we could have the bases be the same. Like if I made this into 49, then you can solve that easily, right? What's the answer? 2. But what if it's 48? Well, you know it can't be 2. It's got to be just a little less than 2, right? So it's like 1.9 or something like that. But if you want to know exactly what it is, you have to use a log. Okay, see if you remember enough from Friday when you learned this the first time to write me that in log form. I'll pause for a second while you do that. Okay, so it starts with the word log, and the base is still the base. It's log base 7 of 48 equals x. Raise your hand if you had that one right. Good. Okay, next, what's the base? It's 7. What's the argument? 48. And then evaluate it. That means like find the solution. Well, that's the part you can't do yet. You don't know how to do this yet. Even though I know it's got a log in there, you can't just type in that into your calculator. Type that into your calculator. You can't. You need, your calculator has to have it in base 10, otherwise it can't figure it out. Actually, the new operating system, though, that they just came out with, can do this. But your standard operating system has to be in base 10. So I'm going to show you how to do a base change. Notice that was the title of today's lesson, where we can change this into a base 10, and then we'll be able to do it. All right. So, next question. Log base 6 of 36 right here. Write that in exponential form, as in something to a power. Did you say 6 to the x equals 36? What's the base? 6 is the base. What's the argument? 36. Evaluate it. What number goes here, in other words? And the answer is 2. All right. Another set of these. I'll get different people to answer. G. What do you got? Base 8 equals, yes, very good. What's the base? What is the argument? If I had to evaluate it, can you tell in your head 8 to the what is 60? No. You're going to need the logs for that I'm going to show you how to do on the calculator. Could I use the calculator to do this one, or is it in the wrong base? Wrong base. All right. Log base 7 of 49. Exponential form. 7 to the equals. Does that look like something you could do in your head? Yeah, what is it? 2. Okay, what's the base? What's the argument? Good. All right, there's some basics you have to know about logs. And I'm getting a good feeling about you understanding them. All right, that can be done on a calc. Why? Because it's a base 10. And let's do it. Everybody grab your calculator, type in log, and you don't have to say base 10 because it knows that. In fact, it's the only one it knows. So just type in log 8, enter. I'm going to pause while you do that. Okay, so it comes out to 0.903. But this is so obscure, it's like, okay, log of 8 is 0.903. What the heck does that mean? Well, we got to go back to what question does this answer? Stay with me. It means 10 to the I don't know what, because we didn't know what this was, is equal to 8. Remember, that's what we could have put before we used the calculator. We could have put an x right there and just said 10 to the x equals 8. That's saying 10 to what power gives me 8? Well, 10 to the 1 is too much. It ends up being 10 to the 0.903. Okay, so it's answering an exponent question. That's what logs do. All right, this one. If you had to put that into your calculator right now, you don't know how to do it. Because this is a base 2, and your calculator only does base 10. But it's really pretty easy, and I'm just going to give you a quick, because I'd like you to remember this to the end of the lesson. I'm just going to show you once really quick, and then I'm going to show you why later. I need to change this to base 10. The way I do that is I write this as a ratio of 2 logs. Anybody want to take a shot at what it would be? Yes? The ratio has to equal base 10. You're close. You use the 2 and the 8. I'm going to pause for a second while we come up with it. That's all there is to it. Log of 8 over log of 2. And the way you can remember which one goes on top, this one kind of looks like it's higher up than the other one does, right? And this one's kind of lower, and it goes underneath. So it's log of 8 over log of 2. And the final answer does come out to 3. Now, if you wouldn't need a calculator for that, though, would you? Because if you wanted to test, though, and see if this was right, you'd take log of 8 divided by log of 2, and it'd probably come out to some decimal that would be really, really close to 3. And it's because what question does this really answer? It answers the question, I can put equals x, 2 to the x equals 8. And you know that one. What is x? 3. So it better come out right when I take log 8 divided by log 2, and I bet you it'll come out to 3. Has anybody verified it? All right, several people have. All right, you're going to learn more about that later.